Dr. Gennaro Piraino, Superintendent of Franklin Regional School District, recently was named the 2019 Pennsylvania Superintendent of the Year by the Pennsylvania Association of School Administrators, also known as PASA. Dr. Piraino accepted his award before a very large crowd last month at the Fred Rogers Center at St. Vincent's College. And in attendance were none other than the Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf and Secretary of Education for Pennsylvania, Pedro Rivera. The goal of this prestigious awards program is to further inspire exemplary educational leadership and promote a sense of confidence and pride in the nation's public schools. Superintendent of the Year nominees are evaluated on how each candidate demonstrates leadership for learning, communication skills, professionalism, and community involvement. Dr. Piraino was selected by the PASA Board of Governors for this award. He is only the 32nd superintendent in the Commonwealth to earn this top educational honor. Now, during his 5.5 years at Franklin Regional, Dr. Piraino has been a change agent for how education is viewed and delivered on a daily basis. We're going to talk to Dr. Piraino today about his vision for Franklin Regional, his commitment to do what is right for all children, and how he became the 2019 Pennsylvania Superintendent of the Year. You won't want to miss this show. So grab a cup of coffee, kick back, and join us. FR in Focus is coming your way next. Welcome to FR in Focus. I'm Cara Zanella, Director of Development and Communication for the Franklin Regional School District. Now, normally, I would be sharing the interviewer's role with my co-host of this show, Dr. Gennaro Piraino. But today, Dr. Piraino is joining me as my special guest to discuss being named the 2019 Pennsylvania Superintendent of the Year. Now, since 2013, Dr. Piraino has demonstrated both effective and collaborative leadership focused on raising student achievement and expanding opportunities. Under his leadership, Franklin Regional has developed a college and career-ready approach that extends learning opportunities beyond the four walls of the classroom. For example, new courses in engineering, biomedical science, and computer science are offered for all students. College and high school partnerships save FR families over $1.1 million each year. A partnership with the National Math and Science Initiative resulted in 79% increase in the number of students earning qualifying scores on advanced placement exams. And through an agreement with Discovery Education, digital ambassadors collaborate with their colleagues to integrate digital learning into the classrooms. These innovative teachers have engaged in intensive professional development on technology integration and have transformed their classrooms into digital learning laboratories. As a result of his leadership over the last 5 years, the district has demonstrated and improved in regional and state rankings. Franklin Regional is now 9th among regional districts and 32nd out of 500 districts statewide in the 2018 Pittsburgh Business Times Honor Roll ranking. Franklin Regional High School earned its first silver medal distinction in the 2018 U.S. News and World Report's ranking of best high schools in the nation. The number of Franklin Regional students recognized as National Merit Finalist and Semifinalist has increased significantly over the past 5 years. Students attending career and technical centers have achieved the highest results in school history on the National Occupation, Career, and Technical Exam, also known as NOCTI. Franklin Regional is now a top-ranked school district due to Dr. Piraino's determination and ability to bring people together to collaborate on what is best for children. Joining me today is the 2019 Superintendent of the Year, Dr. Gennaro Piraino. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Cara. Truly it's an honor to be here as I sit on the other side as the interviewee.
We are really excited. This is a great opportunity to talk about Franklin Regional and some of the things that you've done since you've been here and that you've encouraged and the staff and the school board and everything to take charge of and move forward.
The important thing there is it's not what I've done, it's what we've done as a collective team to do what's right for our students and to do what's right for education in our entire region.
So tell me, what does it feel like to be the 2019 Superintendent of the Year?
It is truly an honor to be recognized as the 2019 Pennsylvania Superintendent of the Year. There are so many great superintendents and so many great school systems where their teams are doing fantastic things for students. So to be recognized by my colleagues, by those leaders from the Pennsylvania Association of School Administrators is very humbling, because I recognize that it's just not what I do, but really what we do. And this award is not a me award, it's a we award. And so that's probably what fills me with the greatest amount of pride for this honor and for this recognition.
So we've talked in past shows about the number of things, and I stated at the beginning of the show, and the number of things that Franklin Regional's achieved. Give me, in your words, how you think we managed to get to this spot and some of the things that actually played into, your nomination for Superintendent of the Year.
It's really about setting a common vision for our students. And so you sit down with people and you have conversations. You set a real strong vision for what we want for our students. We determine what they need to know, understand, and be able to do. And really, it involves a lot of conversations, a lot of brainstorming, and bringing people around the table and checking egos at the door and talking about what's best for our kids. What do they need to know? And so one of the common themes was we want our kids to be well-rounded. Mm-hmm. We want to have world-class academic, artistic, and athletic programs for them. And we want them to become the best citizens that they can possibly become through the experiences that they have in the safe environment of a school system.
So you kind of approach it as like a whole child. You're educating the whole child. So did you get that idea from somewhere, or how did, like, you've introduced like a lot of programs. I know we talked about the list of number of things that you brought to the district. How do you come up with those things? How do you get the vision for that?
A lot of that vision comes from working with great people and learning from great people over the years. I had tremendous mentors, from former superintendents to principals that I worked with, who really knew that our students need to be more than a test score, that our students really grow and they evolve and they flourish in our environment before they go out into the world and make an impact. And so really, these are things, so if we look at some of the programs, when you look at the National Math Science Initiative Partnership, that was really about creating rigor in our classrooms, about convincing our students that they can accomplish more than they ever imagined. And so the National Math Science Initiative provides rigor in a classroom with appropriate support from their staff, from our teachers, from 3rd grade through the AP program. And then or if you look at Discovery Education or our digital ambassadors, that is all about our students having an opportunity to engage with digital information, and our teachers to provide a different type of learning environment, one in which our students live in every single day. And so really, it's about creating this mindset that I will continuously grow and improve. And that's whether I'm a custodian working in the district, or a teacher, the superintendent, or our students. Every single day I want to be better today than I was yesterday, with a plan for how I'm going to get better for tomorrow as well. And so that really, it creates a synergy in the district where the leader alone isn't the person providing all the ideas. The leader alone isn't the person implementing all the plans. People have ownership. They buy what's happening in the district. They buy into what's best for our kids. They buy into that internal obligation to grow and learn and to evolve.
Now, you just don't have an active role at Franklin Regional. People will see you at games and almost every event that goes on. You're going to make an appearance if you can. But you also have a strong presence in the county and in the region, and now in the state with Governor Wolf and the Safety Committee. How do you do that? How do you get on those committees, and why is it important for Franklin Regional to be represented?
early on, when I was hired, the original board that hired me, as well as Mayor Bob Brooks, they all approached me at different times individually and talked about, let's get Franklin Regional on the map.
Okay.
Let's be known for more than just high test scores. Let's become leaders in the region and across the Commonwealth. And really, a lot of that has come through networking. And so as we created the Westmoreland County Forum for Workforce Development, we built relationships with other superintendents, with business, with industry, with local government. And it's sort of like a ripple in the pond. So as we have the impact on Franklin Regional, I'm so proud of the work that our staff does and the impact that they are having and their ability also to expand their ripple. It moved to the county, and then it moved to the region, and then across the Commonwealth. And so as you meet more people and you build those connections, and you're doing it in a way that isn't about you, but it is really about how do we improve what's happening in Franklin Regional, but not only Franklin Regional, but in every school district across our county, across our region, across our Commonwealth.
Now, I think that's an interesting point that you make, because you are one superintendent that I've met in my career that really has a passion for including all students in the ultimate victory here. You just don't include Franklin Regional. Your concern is really Westmoreland County, the state, that every kid, I think you say no matter what their zip code is,
right,
that they learn and they have that opportunity. Now, Governor Wolf, you are the only superintendent to sit on that safety committee on the state level. Why you? Why did he select you? Do you know?
One of the things that we've talked about over time is that we want to reach out and help everyone. Help everyone understand that we all have responsibility for trying to keep people safe. And so those conversations have happened with my superintendent colleagues, as well as legislators from across our Commonwealth. And so I pass the Superintendent's Association in looking for someone to recommend to Governor Wolf, recommended me. Governor Wolf and I had connected and had those conversations. And I recognize that it's a great responsibility. Yes. And so, and I was willing to accept that challenge, but it's something that I'm passionate about, and something that I hope that we can have an impact, not only here in Franklin Regional, but everywhere.
What are some of the things that, as a superintendent, just in general, keep you up at night thinking about how to improve education? Are there things that you think about when you're by yourself on how to make it better?
Unfortunately, my mind never stops. Middle of the night, I'm up thinking about ways that we can build partnerships. We talk about the Project Lead the Way. In Project Lead the Way, we created career pathways or experiences for kids in biomedical science, in computer science, as well as engineering. And it's exciting. And we have our younger kids working on robotics, as well as our older students now taking biomedical science at the high school. And the plan is to continue to expand those types of opportunities, not only in those three areas, but in other career pathways. Our students who have a passion for the social sciences, creating those types of pathways. And so I'm always thinking about ways that we can get our students opportunities and experiences inside the classroom that replicate the real world while still mastering those traditional reading, writing, and arithmetic, but those experiences inside the classroom that are real life, associated with the real world, the world that they're going to enter into. But more importantly, giving them access to people and businesses and opportunities out in the real world, so that way when they can have a clear vision. Here's what I'm doing today. Here are my opportunities here that take me out in the real world. And when I go out into the real world, these are the experiences in healthcare. Here's the Allegheny Health Network, here's the UPMC, here's Excella Health, and here are the jobs, everything from a phlebotomist through a surgeon. These are the opportunities for me in this career field. And then I make decisions. Our job isn't to make the decisions for our students, but it's to create them opportunities and options for them to choose what they want to do in life. We know that when you find something that you love and that you pursue that passion, that your career will find you, and that's what we want for our students.
Now, you're not a superintendent that pushes for every student it must be college, and certainly you have your doctorate. You've certainly had your share of educational experiences, but you also have a heavy hand in the workforce development in the county and trying to get students into other occupations that aren't necessarily driven through degrees.
Well, that's a perfect point, Cara. When we look at our region, we're going to have a job to employee gap of 88,000 workers over the next 10 years. That's an economic crisis if we don't prepare our students to fill those roles.
Yeah.
But for our students, college is a great option for some. And as a matter of fact, how you get to the end of that 2-year degree or 4-year degree or industry certification may look different. You still may get there, but the pathway may be different. So giving our students, we look at career and technical centers. Between the two career and technical centers that serve us, Forbes Road and as well as northern area, when we look at that, our enrollment in those two centers, it's grown significantly over the last couple of years. And so and the fact is, when we look at the trades, a welder can leave the CTC with some additional training and go out and make between $60,000 and $80,000 a year without the debt. And so college isn't for all. Yeah. It should be an option for anybody who wants to pursue that. But the reality is we have to educate students on what's available for them.
Now, you're big on professional development for our staff as well, and not just for, of course, your administrators. I know from working for you, it's a big thing for you to allow us to constantly learn, but you are big on professional development with the teachers as well, on giving them opportunities to grow their skill level, correct?
We have actually, through the last teacher's contract, put a heavy focus on professional development and creating different ways to provide that intensive professional development to our teachers. So let's take a couple of the things we just talked about. So through the new contract, one of the things people always ask me about, why do we have those days off that are after each quarter now?
Yeah.
Well, really, all of that is part of a professional development system that allows us to provide professional development during the summer for teachers in district priority areas. So the whole Project Lead the Way movement has been made possible through the training that teachers go to during the summer. The entire National Math Science Initiative, our teachers spend their summer going to those trainings, those intensive trainings in that area. Our digital ambassadors, not only do they go through several trainings a year, there are outside coaches that come in and work with them. They may co-teach with them on lessons, may work with them on developing lessons, and they create those learning laboratories.
As a former teacher, obviously, do you wish that you would have had those opportunities coming up the ranks?
I was actually very fortunate. I worked as a teacher in one of the first school systems in the nation to develop a one-to-one in terms of technology. And so coming in, I had to change how I taught.
Okay.
And so those experiences were provided for us. And so I learned that when I learn and when I model learning to my students, that they're more apt to learn and grow. And so really lifelong learning isn't something that should just sit in a mission statement. Lifelong learning is something that should embody what we all do. When our students go out into the world, research at this point is saying they change careers 8 to 10 times.
Oh, wow.
We're preparing them for jobs that we don't even know that exist right now.
Wow.
So one of the most critical skills that they're going to need to have is adaptability. They're going to need to be able to see opportunities, look at those opportunities, and see what skills that they need to develop, how they need to evolve as people. And that adaptability will determine their future success. And so those opportunities are important for me. They continue to be important for me as a professional. It's really not, as an educator, I always say, learning as an educator is not an option. It's really what I need to do to get my kids the experiences and the opportunities to learn, to grow, to expand their own personal repertoire, to develop that adaptability.
Now you have, obviously, your own children are in the Franklin Regional School District. Is it helpful to be the leader of the district and also have that perspective as a parent as well?
Obviously, my most cherished role is that of dad. However, as my family often points out, I have 3,500 children, and I view them that way. And I recognize the importance that all students have these experiences so that they're successful. And so I try to do for the Franklin Regional students what I would do for my own.
Okay.
And so that sort of, I can't separate those roles in terms of when I come cross paths with a student in the hallway, they're my child. I want what's best for them, the same as I do my own biological children.
Well, I see the excitement on your face every graduation when you hand out those diplomas and shake the hand of every student that comes through there. You can see the excitement, and you've certainly attended your share of graduation, but that genuinely comes through, that you are really excited for the students as they leave us and move on to their next journey.
That day is probably one of my favorite days of the year. It's truly a celebration, and whether the student is the valedictorian or came through a different means, every student has their own story in terms of how they got to that day. And so it's a celebration of that accomplishment of 13 years of education, of different experiences, of different struggles and different triumphs. And so I really am so happy for our students. And most importantly, one of the things, if you don't have hope, you don't have anything. When those students walk across that stage and I'm shaking hands with them, I'm filled with a sense of hope for the future. Because I realize that our kids are better prepared today than they ever have been in history. And I realize that our future, that our kids think differently than when I was in school. And so that hope for the future just radiates from them, and it's contagious. That excitement's contagious. Really is probably my happiest day of the year.
It is. I will definitely say that. So you have accomplished an amazing amount of things in your career so far. You're just getting started with the things that you're going to do in your career. Where do you see Franklin Regional going in the next decade?
I sort of alluded to that earlier. I view us moving toward more work with the career pathways, as well as working toward customization that provides our students with the real life experiences that they need to have in order to be successful in the future, but also really looking at where they are academically, where they are in terms of their interests and their passions and their needs, and then developing those customized plans to get them to that next level. So it's really taking them from where they are to where they hope and dream to be.
So how do you plan on leveraging this role now as Superintendent of the Year? You hold this title for a year, correct?
Correct.
How do you plan on leveraging that to maybe reach out to across the Commonwealth and spread a message that supports public education?
One of my roles and responsibilities as the Superintendent of the Year is to be a champion for public education, but more importantly, to be a champion for kids. And so we talked about Governor Wolf, and we talked about the different legislators, and now we have Representative Brooks, who's representing us, as well as Representative Nelson, and Senator White's retiring, and he will obviously have a replacement. It's great working with those people who have that political influence, but the whole purpose to it is to create a clear focus of what our schools need to prepare our students for the future. And so when we look at our Commonwealth, we need people who are entrepreneurs. We need people who are business owners. We need people who to fill those jobs in engineering, in healthcare, in computer science, those high demand occupations. We need our attorneys, social sciences. And so that leverage to create those opportunities, to create those pathways, and to help facilitate that purpose is really where I see the Superintendent of the Year going.
Well, I can't tell you how proud we are of you that you have this title for a year. It's certainly well-deserved, and we are looking forward to where we're going to go in the future under your leadership at Franklin Regional. It's been a real honor to work with you on this. So
it's an honor to serve this community. It's a tremendous honor to serve our kids. And there's no other place I'd rather be. I'm proud to be the superintendent of Franklin Regional.
Well, we're certainly proud that you're here and so glad to work for you. So, well, with that, we are out of time. Thank you. Thank you to Dr. Piraino for being my guest today. I want to congratulate you in making FR proud. And I want a special thanks to you, our viewing audience, for joining us today. On behalf of Dr. Piraino and myself, we look forward to seeing you again on our next show. Until we meet again, FR in Focus wishes you a lifetime of learning. Thank you for joining us and have a great day.